Alright, so here's our kit. I got this from Bass Pro. I have one locally here in Columbia, Missouri. And why I say buy the kit first, I mean this kit was actually the same price. I think it was $44. You get 3 quarts of oil. They're running the regular 25-40 mineral oil. There is a synthetic blend out there that you can find at actually at Walmart for $10 a quart. Otherwise, this usually runs $7 a quart. So you get that, you get an oil filter. But here's why it's kind of nice to have this little piece, and you can use this over and over. This goes under the oil filter when you crack it loose from the motor and catches anything. So, and then you have a seal here that goes around the drain plug. Now, I would imagine you could reuse these several times. But I will go ahead and put a new one on since I bought the kit. Okay, so this video is on changing the oil on a, well, I've got the 2020 Mercury 50 horse, and this is changing motor oil. Thought I'd give you a step-by-step. What we first want to do, remove the engine cowl, and you can see I have my motor in the trailer towing position. I even have it up a little higher, and I have it tilted over, and what you're seeing here is it's tilted to the side, and then right down here is an 18 millimeter socket that you need for the plug. It's kind of odd because the motor's way up above, but what we're doing is put the pan under it here and just get that loose. Alright, so here's the plug, and this seal doesn't just slide off. You have to basically unscrew it off. That's pretty tight, and then put the new one on. So that's what that looks like. It's got a little bit of a... Okay, so we got our plug back in down here, the new seal. Tightened up, don't over tighten it. Oil filter right here on this motor. Now, it's not easy to get into. I have a couple of different oil filter removers. This is one of the little plastic ones, but good luck trying to get it the right one to fit. I don't know. This one fits 2 sizes. It fits it good, but then it slips. But I also want to show you this piece. So this is the little catch-all, and there's a lip underneath the oil filter here built into the motor, and what you have to do is you have to slide this kind of around and get it up under that piece there, and it will lay there. And then when we get this filter loose, that oil will go into this catch-all, and then we can get it out of there, and then we'll get that off, and then I'll show you what we're going to do. We're basically just going to put a little bit of oil on the filter gasket, and then we're going to tighten it up and just hand tighten it and get that done. So I ended up just getting a big pair of channel locks, and I got it loose, but wow, they really get tight. So you can see, even though this fit it well, it just kept sliding around. I even put a rubber glove over this, and you know, give it a little traction. Still nothing. It was just spinning. So just be prepared. As long as you have a big set of, they're not that big, your normal size, then you can get to it like this and get it loose. But man, it was a lot tighter than I thought it would be. And this thing just had its oil changed 30 hours ago, so the guy that did this put it on way too tight. So just like a car, it only takes, you know, tightening and another good hand tightening, and that's it. So anyway, we're going to get this one off and use our catch-all here, which we can put under it now, and I'll still have to use the pliers a little bit to get it looser, but at least I busted it loose. But I will tell you, it was super tight. I wasn't sure I was going to have to not poke a hole in it and run a screwdriver through it and get it loose. So hopefully yours isn't like this one was. Alright, so I've got the filter loose. It actually lays in this little pan, and you should be able to take them both out at the same time. Just like, gotta hold on to it, just like so. So we got the filter. Really no dripping, but I'm gonna wipe that down, and we can get our other filter ready. Otherwise, pretty clean job. I don't see any dripping off there, so you want to wipe this gasket area and take you a paper towel, make sure that's nice and clean, and then we'll get the filter ready to install. Well, surprisingly, almost no oil came out of there. I wiped that area down good, wiped the blow area, everything's clean, and that's not even a teaspoon of oil. So it does drain out as you drain the motor. So let's go get the other filter and get this done. Alright, we've got the other filter. Not sure why this one's black and the other one was white. There's the part number on it. I'm sure Wix makes this filter. I'll look at what this other brand was. What I did was took just a little bit of oil and just go around this gasket good and get it wet, and then we're going to get it on there. So I'm just going to screw it on, and start feeling resistance. Go ahead and give it a good turn, and that should be good. So you just don't want to over tighten it because you'll have a problem getting it loose. But anyway, so the oil filter's on, and now we'll get ready. Here's the dipstick right here. Guys, make sure, I found mine had come loose, but make sure these, because of it's a 4-cycle motor, it has crankcase pressure. Make sure your dipstick's all the way down and snap down, and it will lock here. So make sure. I found mine was literally not locked down, and I don't know if it was just engine vibration, but check it once in a while, and make sure that you see on here that you need to lock that down. So anyway, filter's on. Let's get ready to put in 3 quarts of our oil, and that will be on the rear of the motor where you have your yellow cap right here. You can see we're on the back of the motor, and we will take that cap loose, and then I've got a little funnel, and it's actually easier if you tilt the motor up, because your funnel then is not coming out this way, and you can pour in a much easier. So let's get everything ready to go, and I'll show you that. Alright, so as I said, let's tilt the motor up, and that will put our oil funnel in good position to pour almost straight down in there, instead of having your motor horizontal. Let's get it up just about trailer in height, or maybe even a little bit higher. And now we're getting ready to put in 3 quarts of our 2540 that came in the kit, and we'll get that done and go from there. Alright, we got her done. Put the motor back down in the straight position here. We'll go around it here. Now, I have not run this yet. I actually plan on fishing tomorrow, but so obviously right now you got no oil in the filter. I don't pre-fill a filter. Couldn't do it with that one anyway, because it would pour out. But anyway, the oil, the new oil, is just golden clear. So this only had 30 hours on it. I got it. It was changed at 35 hours, and now I think I only have 66. I'll have to check my vessel view, somewhere around 66 to 70. So I was quite surprised how dirty that motor oil was. And these little motors run pretty hard, so whether the book says 100 hours or whatever, I'm just for $20–30. To me, I would, I will probably change this. I'll fish it a little bit this year yet, maybe a few times, and I'll be good, but I will probably change this oil again. I probably put 35 hours a summer, 40 hours. So I would change it every 25 hours, but I'm kind of over the top when it comes to maintenance. I'll also show you, you want to make sure, whether you're winterizing or not, you want to make sure you've got a couple of grease zerks here. So they don't need a lot, they just need, one pump or two. And so that's for your shaft this way. And then you also have one at the front here for your steering, right under here. And what I like to do is I'll take my motor and turn it to the side. I clean this off good because this is riding in and out of there. If you let it go, this grease will get hard and your steering will start getting hard. So what I've always done is push it all the way over, clean it with some brake cleaner, get it good and clean, and then I'll run it back in that way, give it a couple shots of grease. But mainly what that grease does is that's for trim and tilt. Your motor's tilting up and down, so these areas right here are what are really getting the grease. This here, I might just finger a little bit of real light grease on this shaft as it's going, back and forth. Nothing messy, just a little bit. So anyway, we're done with the oil change. We'll be doing the lower unit, and I'll do that on my next one. Very simple, except that SOB right there was not fun. And I do a lot of mechanic work, and I was surprised how tight that was. So once you run it, I'll probably put it on the muffs here in just a little bit when it warms up. I'll run it, I'll get a flashlight, I'll check for any leaks there, and certainly I wiped out down around the plug, and I'll make sure everything is sealed and good. But I've never had any problem before. Again, hand tighten, give her one good tight turn, and should be good to go. So anyway, love the motor, good running motor. Something else I do is there's a filter in here. This is kind of I guess a pre-filter, but they are replaceable. And I have never run any ethanol fuel in this. This is the 12-gallon tank that I put in, battery on each side. I've always run non-ethanol fuel. I also put in the Mercury, I was looking for it actually here, the Mercury motor gas additive, and I was using the other stuff, but I went ahead and bought the Mercury as I saw it somewhere, Quicksilver, and it's a stabilizer and keeps your gas from glazing up the injectors, things like that. So anyway, I will give you an update, and we'll check it for any leaks when we run it, and then we'll change this lower unit, which really basic, simple to do. So we'll do that next. Thanks for watching.